Dustin Johnson heads to East Lake Golf Course this week as something like a third wheel behind Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. At least, it's being perceived that way. While Thomas and Spieth have been more consistent recently and are getting most of the love for Player of the Year honors, Johnson has won 4 events this year. Currently sitting third in the FedEx Cup standings, he controls his own destiny at the Tour Championship this week. In all sports, it's not necessarily the team that's had the best team all year win the championship, Johnson said Tuesday in his press conference. They don't always win their games in the playoffs. I think the FedEx Cup has done a very good job with tweaking at the points over the years. I think the first few years, obviously, it was a little bit off, but I think it's very good now. If you've had a good year, you're going to pretty much be in the top 5 coming into Atlanta. So then if you win the Tour Championship you win the FedEx Cup, so I think they've done a really good job with that. Johnson, the top-ranked player in the world, has just 3 top 10 finishes since injuring himself before the start of the Masters. However, one of those top 10s was a win at the Northern Trust to start the playoffs. Johnson, who has won at least one tournament in 9 of his last 10 seasons, earned his first major title at last year's U.S. Open. Despite his lofty resume, Johnson is still hungry for one of the trophies still missing from his shelf. It'd be up there with everything else I've done, Johnson said of winning the FedEx Cup. It's the one thing I don't have. I've got my first major, so I'd like to be a FedEx Cup champion. With Thomas and Spieth playing together to start the tournament, most of the attention will be deflected away from Johnson. Come Sunday, Johnson could be the player everyone else is chasing.